Alright guys, what's going on? Blaze One Sports here to report the Dallas Cowboys 2018 NFL season in review. A look back at their previous season this year. Cowboys ended the season 10-6. Started off kind of slow at the beginning of the year. Ended good, went on a winning streak, and then ended up losing to the Los Angeles Rams in the divisional round of the playoffs by 8 points. Dallas looked good in that game, even though they lost. They didn't put enough points on the board, but their defense held the Rams to the most part, even though they gave up a lot of running yards. Dak Prescott on the year had a 67.7 completion rate, 3,885 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. He's going to need to bring those touchdowns up next year. Dak also had 305 yards rushing for 6 rushing touchdowns, tied for most rushing touchdowns on the team with Zeke, 6. Ezekiel Elliott, 1,434 yards rushing, 6 touchdowns. He's going to need to bring that number up a lot next year. 567 receiving yards for 3 touchdowns. So Ezekiel Elliott overall back. People saying Le'Veon Bell's he's the best. Le'Veon Bell's been done the last couple of years. Ezekiel Elliott's been the number 1 running back in the NFL since he came into the NFL. Le'Veon Bell is just a name. Zeke puts the numbers up. Amari Cooper, leading receiver for the Cowboys, 725 yards, 6 touchdowns, 53 receptions. Cole Beasley, 65 receptions, 672 yards, 3 touchdowns. Michael Gallup, the rookie, 33 receptions, 507 yards, 2 touchdowns. They need to target him more next year, Michael Gallup. Bring his touchdowns and yards up. Amari Cooper as their number 1. I see Michael Gallup as their solid number 2. Cole Beasley and Tavon Austin are coming up as free agents. Maybe the Cowboys should let them go to free up that money for other spots, other needs on the roster, like corner, tight end, safety. To the defense, Leighton Vander Esch, rookie, leading team tackler, 102 tackles, also leading the team tied in interceptions with 2, tied with Xavier Woods. Jalen Smith, 83 tackles. DeMarcus Lawrence, 10 sacks, 42 tackles. Sean Lee only played in 7 games. He only had 15 tackles on the year. It's time for Sean Lee to retire. Free up that money. Xavier Woods, 2 interceptions. The Cowboys need to build their defense around Leighton Vander Esch. He's a solid player. Let Sean Lee go, have him retire. If you can't bring DeMarcus Lawrence and Irving are both free agents at the end of the year. If they want a lot of money, let them go. Build around Vander Esch. Because Lawrence is a good player, but 10 sacks, 42 tackles. I mean, that's good, but you see what you can get out there in the free agent market and in the draft. If you can't replace them, you could afford them or you sign them, but I think they have more pressing needs at tight end, corners, and safeties. Their corners and safeties are always getting burnt. They're getting not enough interceptions. I mean, Xavier Woods and Vander Esch have 2 interceptions, tied for the most on the team. And one of them's a linebacker. They need a solid shutdown corner. They need a solid safety. I'm tired of seeing their safeties get burnt downfield year after year after year. They need to address those needs on defense, safety and corner. If they lose Lawrence and Irving, then they need to address that to defensive end, defensive line. Get that in the draft. Dallas drafts real good defense, and Dallas drafts overall good. Those players, DeMarcus Lawrence and Irving, can be replaced in the draft or through free agency. Dallas builds the team around Van Der Esch. He's the anchor of the team, of the defense. You see when he's out there, the team does better than when Sean Lee's out there. He's the perfect replacement for Sean Lee. Now that Van Der Esch is here, Sean Lee can retire. Dallas builds the team around him. Van Der Esch was the steal in the draft. When they drafted him, I was mad. I didn't know who he was. I wanted DJ Moore. Now I'm glad they got him. I should have never underestimated the Cowboys. I should have known better. They always draft good. A lot of people said that the Cowboys reached with Van Der Esch by drafting him. He wasn't worth the pick. They got him too high, but he proved them wrong. Definitely one of the top rookies in the draft this year. Jalen Smith, coming off that leg injury a couple years ago, is looking real good. Another draft pick people made fun of Dallas for, taking him in the first round because he couldn't play that year because his leg was blown. He's come back strong. He looks good. Him and Van Der Esch, anchors of the defense, build around that, bring in some solid corners, some safeties. You're good to go. Do you bring in Earl Thomas? Maybe, but he's old and coming off this major injury. I don't know if you want to bring him in, especially he's going to want money, a lot of it. If you could get him for cheap, yeah, you bring him in, but I'd rather have a younger player that's not coming off that major injury. We need players that are going to be on the field full time. Upcoming free agents on the offensive side: Tavon Austin, Cole Beasley, Greg Swain. It's going to be hard to let Cole Beasley go, but I think you let Austin, Beasley, and Swain, you let them all go. You already have receivers in Cooper. You keep him, extend him, and you got Gallup, a solid number 2. You just need to target him more. You got Switzer, White, Thompson. Draft someone if you want. Sign a cheap free agent if you want. But Beasley and Austin are going to be wanting money, and you're going to need to bring in a tight end. You're going to need to free up a lot of money. You can't bring everyone back. I say they let Austin, Beasley, Swain, they let them go. They go after Austin Seferian-Jenkins or Jimmy Graham, mainly Jimmy Graham, maybe Tyler Eifert. But they need that solid weapon at tight end for Dak. You need a tight end in today's game. Especially Dak's playing style, the deke and dunk, he definitely needs a tight end that could go over the middle. Give Zeke a break. So the Cowboys definitely need a tight end. I don't really see none in the draft. Probably draft one. Rico Gathers, I haven't even seen him this year. Go after Jimmy Graham. You need that solid tight end. Irving and Lawrence, like I said, they're free agents. Either way on that, you could let them go. If they want big money, let them go. Draft players. Get cheaper free agents. We need corners, corners, safeties, and tight ends. What do you guys think? What do the Cowboys have to do next year to get better? One thing they should do, they're talking about extending Jason Garrett. I would not extend Jason Garrett. I would fire Jason Garrett, fire Scott Linehan, bring in a new offensive coach to work with Dak, someone that could play around his game, coach around his game. Don't pick the same old cookie cutter plays every game with the same game plan. We're tired of being mediocre. For the past couple years now, even when Romo was here, we win by 3, lose by 3. Same Jason Garrett. It's been time for him to go. Fire Jason Garrett, Scott Linehan. I thought last year they were going to do it and bring in Gruden. All the signs were pointing like that. Then They kept Garrett, and then Gruden signed with Oakland. People are saying Lincoln Riley might come to Dallas. I was thinking maybe Urban Meyer. There's other people out there. But Jerry Jones is talking about keeping Jason Garrett. If they keep Jason Garrett, it's going to be more mediocre football. And we're tired of just 8-8, 9-7, 6-10. Barely making it to the playoffs. Barely even winning. It's time for a change. Need to blow up the coaching staff. Bring in some new players. Jason Garrett can't bring the Cowboys nowhere. It's time for him to go. I think better coaching, the Cowboys could have gotten farther. Bad play calls is the reason why they're out of the playoffs. You need to open up the playbook. Their plays are the same old plays. They're not trusting Dak. They need a new playbook. They need new coaching. So what do you guys think? What should the Cowboys do? Leave your thoughts, comments, opinions in the comment section. Blazing One Sports, I'm out.